is Jesus? That's probably the most important question that a Christian can wrestle with during their entire life. And this question gets asked quite often in the New Testament. And even in the middle of the Synoptic Gospels, Jesus talks to his disciples and he asks them the question, who do people say that I am? And it's interesting because Jesus is kind of trying to gauge what the crowds are saying about Jesus and how they are interpreting his own messianic ministry. And the apostles respond and they say, well, some people think that you're John the Baptist, some that you're one of the prophets, maybe you're Jeremiah. And then Jesus turns it on them and he says, but who do you say that I am? And Simon Peter is the one that musters up the courage. And we can see in Matthew chapter 16, verse 16, that Peter says to Jesus, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Matthew 16, verse 16. Now look at the confession that's being made here. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. So is Jesus the living God? No, he is not. He is the Son of the living God. And notice that Christ, the Greek term for the Messiah, is set in parallel with the Son of God. Christ and Son of God are parallel terms in the ancient Jewish world. And so he is being confessed as the Son of the living God, not that he is God the Son or that he is the living God himself. Now, is this the correct answer? You might say, well, Peter got part of it right, and there's a little bit more that he needs to know, but that's not what Jesus says. Jesus immediately praises him, and he says, you are right, Peter. And he says that flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father in heaven has revealed this to you. So we see that the confession that Peter has, acknowledging that Jesus is the Son of God, not the living God himself, but the Son of God, is actually what God himself revealed to Peter. It is the correct answer. It's not missing anything. It's not, well, he knows about the humanity of Jesus, but he also needs to know about the divinity of Jesus. That's not actually what it says. This is the correct answer from the perspective of Jesus, from the perspective of the narrator, and from the perspective of God himself, who revealed this information to Jesus. So if you're asking the question yourself, who is Jesus? I think we can follow the example of Peter, who followed Jesus around. He was one of the head apostles, and he's the one that confessed that Jesus is the Christ. He is the Son of the living God. I think we should follow the biblical example. We should follow the example of the apostles. And of course, since the apostles are getting their information from Jesus and with the confession of Peter from God himself, that should be sufficient for our understanding of who Jesus is. Don't forget to subscribe.
This is the Biblical Unitarian Podcast.